All right, hey guys, welcome back to another impromptu episode of Millennial Pocket Watching. It's me. Hello, I'm back. And so, in the previous episodes, we talked about sinking funds and then where your housing budget should be, like how much of your income your housing should cost. We talked about budgeting for your bills and including certain things in your budget, like your credit card bills or where you kind of want to spend credit card wise, into your budget as well. We talked about putting things on auto pay or auto withdrawal for your sinking funds and even some of your bills. And then today we are going to talk about retirement. So, in this particular demonstration, I'm going to use my income from 2021. It's a little bit more realistic to the average American. In 2021, I came home with $39,355.80. I'm sorry, my camera's falling. All right. Basically, just shy of 40K. And that was gross. That wasn't take home. So take home, I would come home with about $2,000 a month, just shy of $2,000 a month. So with that, I would do my retirement pre-check. And so a lot of people do Roth IRAs or just IRAs in general. So for me, at that point in my life, I had paid off the majority of my debt so I could be more aggressive with my retirement savings. I always recommend one retirement savings. If your company offers you that, you should at least save up to their match minimum. And excuse me. And so while I was paying off debt, paying off my student loans, I did just contribute to the minimum because I was younger and your best mode of investing and getting the most bang for your buck is your youth in a lot of situations, if not all situations. And so the longer, even if I can't put a ton of money in it, the longer I have the money in the market, the more opportunity I have for it to grow and reinvest itself. So even though I wasn't, and a lot of people don't recommend this, but even though I wasn't debt free or even though I had bills to pay basically, I was still putting money away from my retirement. I don't recommend not putting away from, because at some point you're gonna get older and you don't want to work anymore, okay? I'm not going to work every day until the day I die. I refuse. So do your future self a solid. Just do your future self a solid and start putting away money for retirement. Okay, so in 2021, I actually had managed to pay off my student loans. And so at that point, I had decided to put in about 15% of my income into my retirement a month. So every paycheck, a chunk of that was taken out. And then at the end of the month, I kind of knew how much I had put towards my retirement. It ended up being like just shy of $450 a month towards my retirement. Now, for me, I had decided to make my retirement contributions Roth. So this is after your money has been taxed, it goes into your retirement account. So what is the difference between a Roth and a traditional retirement contribution? So typically your traditional retirement contribution comes out of your check prior to taxes being taken out. The caveat to that is once you go to take that money out when you're old and gray, you have to pay taxes on that money as you take it out. Now with Roth, I had already given the government my money for taxes, so when I go take it out when I'm old and gray, I don't have to pay taxes. The jury's still out on if it's more beneficial for you to take out taxes first versus later when you're older. But for me, I just rather get it out of the way now so I ain't gotta listen to nobody talk about you owe me this, and a fifth. Like, I would like my check to be what it is when it comes out when I'm old and gray. I wanna know that's the amount I'm getting and nobody's dipping their hand into the money that I saved for. But that's just me. But Now, at that point in December 2021, I had decided to contribute about 15% of my income. And this is money that I hadn't seen. So basically, my entire home budget was my take home income. So my retirement had already been taken out. So that's one box check that I don't even have to think about and or ever see. Well, I looked at it, but because I'm a nerd. But that's something that, again, was an auto for me. That's something to take out of my check, and that's something I didn't have to worry about doing after that. So my entire budget was based on my post-retirement contribution income, which is nice. The only downside is, like, with your post-retirement income, tax-wise, your gross income doesn't get deducted. How do I explain this better? More better. So I've already paid taxes, so my entire income is, for tax purposes, is going to be the same. Usually when you have pre-tax deductions, they'll deduct the amount of money that you took out pre-tax, and then I'll lower your general income per year. But don't quote me on that, I'm not 100%. But I'm pretty sure that's how that works. So I always do my retirement savings post-tax, but that was my personal preference. If you want to do a pre-tax, do you, boo. But my take-home, my budget is based on my take-home income, and that is after my retirement comes out. So I've already paid future me. I've already paid the government. This is what I have to do me. And the thing with taking it out or having that certain amount of money, and a lot of people, and this is what gets a lot of people don't have that money set aside. So when things get rough, they've already spent the money that they have for a month. Now for me, because I knew I was kind of rolling into a transitory point in my life where I was transitioning to doing something else, I could always, or if times got super rough, I could always stop making those contributions. That's the last thing I usually do. I could always, before I would do that, I would just cut out my sinking funds. Or at least the unnecessary sinking funds, like my play money or anything that I honestly didn't need to contribute to. I could take that out if I needed extra income for whatever god awful reason that I needed extra income for. That's basically my fail-safe. And at the very end of that fail-safe method was I could always stop making contributions to my retirement. That is me robbing Peter to pay Paul, essentially. And so I'm robbing my future self of this income in order to pay a temporary or present day issue. So have I ever done that? Once. And not because that was like a financial thing. It was mostly I was transitioning and I just didn't want to put that money towards my retirement right then and there. I wanted to use it as an extra buffer for savings because I didn't know if I was going to have a job at the end of me getting transitioning from my job. And so that was kind of like my extra boof or my extra oomph into my savings, was me to stop contributing to my retirement just so I can build up a little bit more heftier savings for whatever may come down the pipeline. And that's the only time that I've done it, and I missed out on I want to say I did it for 6 months of down the road retirement. But the way things worked out for me right now is I'm making double that in contributions right now. Now, will I ever get that time back? No. And like I said before, the longer you have that money in the market, the better. So I did rob Peter to pay Paul, but aside, in my opinion, I think I'll be fine in the long run. But it wasn't a long thing. It was a short, temporary, I knew when I was going to start and stop type of thing. So that's that. So hopefully I kind of explained better what I'm doing with my budget and why my budget is the way it is. Even now, I kind of am the same with my budget. Even though I'm making more, it kind of still breaks down as such. Okay? So thank you for watching, and hopefully I explained that better. All right, catch you later. Bye.